It's pretty hard to believe the Sims franchise has been around for 17 years. 17? When you look at how far it's come since the original game, but that doesn't mean there isn't room for improvement. We think some of the items and rumors on this list could help The Sims 5 be an outstanding game. So let's take a break from real life and check out what might be coming in the future to our favorite simulation game. Are you tired of boring advertisements on YouTube telling you what you should or shouldn't buy? What about YouTubers who keep retelling you the same things about games? So are we at The Gamer. We're here to take you on a new adventure with premium and new gaming content each week. Subscribe to our channel, and while you're at it, if you have some Sims-obsessed friends in your lives, tag them in this video to keep up to date on all the newest Sims content. It may be here sooner than we thought. There has been a lot of information circulating about when the next Sims game might be released, and given EA and Maxis' usual release schedule, it looks like it could be here as soon as 2019. If that's the case, it means we might get official news it's in the works by 2018, but its development has been kept pretty secret and under wraps for now. The Sims originally was released in 2000, making the game 17 years old, which we might add is pretty incredible. The Sims 2 was released in 2004, The Sims 3 in 2009, and then The Sims 4 in 2014. Which shows the release schedule coming every 4 to 5 years. If EA continues with this pattern, we will hopefully see a new Sims game by 2019. But I just don't want to wait that long. Although followers of The Sims have been told on quite a few occasions not to expect the same schedule with Sims 5 as with previous installments of the game, this either means the developing team could be working on a new remaster for the original, since the 20th anniversary is coming up, or Sims 5 has become a much larger undertaking than previously thought. Either way, fans are hopeful for the future of Sims 5, and we can't wait to see what it brings, even if it isn't as soon as we'd like it to be. Okay, yeah, but what year is it now? Create a Style Option Edition. There was quite a few things missing when The Sims 4 was first introduced, and that's the main reason it received such negative criticism. Not only was it one of the most expensive Sims games ever released, but it lacked in plenty of things Sims 3 had given us. Therefore, Sims 3 will always hold a special place in our heart. We have to admit Sims 4 has become better with each new expansion, but it still isn't quite up to par with Sims 3, and it's missing a few important additions. One of those features it was missing was the Create a Style option, so if there is a Sims 5, we're hoping this will be brought back into the game. Listen up, EA! This in-game feature in Sims 3 was an extremely useful tool, which lets you basically customize anything in the game by changing the color and patterns with an added color wheel. If you wanted pink curtains with a matching floral couch, hey, you could get it. Kinda looks like my wife's decorating. You could even match your carpet with your wallpaper if you felt so inclined, and the ability to customize your Sims clothes greatly added to the feeling that the player was in charge of each and every customization. So we're seriously crossing our fingers and hoping for the return of Create a Style with Sims 5. So if any Maxis or EA team members are listening, please add it. And give us credit, of course. Introduction to Open World. Sims 3 did a number of things right that Sims 4 just didn't follow because it was a different game. One of those things was the concept of an open world. Now sure, it's not to the point where we'd like it to be, where you could interact with other Sim players from all around the world. Even if we made this concept simpler and we're allowed to add our real-life friend Sims to our new communities to play together, either way we aren't at the place we'd like it to be, but hopefully Sim 5 can get us there. The biggest disappointment with Sims 4 was that you had to sit and wait for loading screens to explore your neighborhood, specifically when looking at City Living, which was supposed to introduce an open world concept to The Sims 4. In City Living, you didn't get to explore multiple levels of floors and apartments, and if you went to a different apartment complex, you would have to sit through loading screens to do so. It took away from the idea that it was just one community, and made it feel as if your Sim was disconnected from the rest of the world, with, of course, load screens. So let's hope Sims 5 makes its players feel as if they're living in one giant world where you're able to explore it without the hindrance of loading screens. Bikes and vehicles. This has probably become one of those videos where we're just complaining about all the things Sim 4 did wrong. God, I hated Sims 4. But there are plenty of other things to talk about, like how much we hated Sims 4. No, wait. If we want the future of The Sims to be better, and we want Sims 5 to be an amazing game, then we'll have to discuss the improvements which need to be made for the future games. One of the simplest things missing from The Sims 4 was bicycles and cars. What was the point of making a garage for your Sims if there's nothing to put inside of it? To our shock, EA and Maxis gave us a pets expansion before they gave us vehicles, which is just bizarre. What are they waiting for? At this point, I would take horses as a vehicle option because they also didn't include those in Sims 4. Players used to have the ability to drive their car or ride their bike to school, work, or just on a nice leisurely cruise around the neighborhood. The Sims 4 gave us more dreaded loading screens and no independence because they took away our cars, and it seemed like a pretty simple solution to just add them to the game. Vacations. Vacationing is one of the most important parts of The Sims. Listen, some of us just have to live vicariously through our Sims, and when we need to take a break from real life, we turn to games games to do so. The vacation theme isn't a new concept for The Sims. Vacation started with the original game as Sims Vacation. Then we were introduced to The Sims 2, Bon Voyage, and by Sims 3, we had 2 more forms of holiday travel in World Adventures and Island Paradise. We were all let down once we realized The Sims 4 idea for a vacation was outdoor retreat because everyone loves camping as their dream vacation, right? God, Sims 4. Ugh. In Outdoor Retreat, your Sims are given the option to rent out 5 different lots ranging in price. You can stay at the campground for $111 per day, the Riverside Retreat for $282 a day, the Green Getaway for $397 per day, the Forest Hideaway for $635 a day, or our personal favorite, the Lakeside Retreat for $893 a day. Gotta be making bank for that one. We don't even get the option to ski or snowboard like we did in Sims 3. If this were Aspen, Colorado, an $893 price tag would make sense. But let's hope vacationing will change in the future with Sims games, because it's been a pretty pricey and lackluster so far in The Sims 4. Virtual reality. When The Sims 4 was originally released, there was a lot of backlash from players because they felt as if they weren't really getting what they wanted. To be fair, there wasn't even the ability to build a pool in the original release of the game, which was quickly remedied in the next update. At least they got something right. EA is rumored to want to use both the use of virtual reality and 360-degree technologies in The Sims 5. This will give players the ability to finally fully experience the game and live their in-game life through the eyes of their sim with a first-person perspective. There are 2 problems which exist with the introduction of VR to The Sims 5, if it does end up happening. First, it means The Sims 5 will have to have an enormous budget, much larger than the previous Sims games. The second problem is they do end up going virtual reality route. They may be eliminating some players who don't have a VR headset from the game. So they would have to make 2 separate games, one for the VR and one for everyone else. Oh, this is getting out of control. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what the future holds. But we're certain EA isn't making an exclusive VR headset for the game. No one would buy The Sims 5 for $500. University Expansion. The Sims 3 University Life was one of the most popular expansions to be released because it meant we didn't have to go into a massive amount of debt to experience what it was like to be in college. University Life was a new expansion which catered to the young adults of your Sims 3 world, and it introduced a new sub-neighborhood and some university buildings in the game. Also, the mascot was a llama, which made complete sense. You didn't get to have pets, but there were aliens and paparazzi there. We were really hoping for another University Life to come to Sims 4, but so far, there's been no word on it happening. The game even offered spring breaks if the player had the season's expansion installed, but it was basically like living your college debauchery all over again with parties, social gatherings, day jobs, and classes. Spring break! It would be nice to see this in the future of Sims 4, but we're really pushing to see it more by the time Sims 5 comes out. Can you imagine touring the Sims-esque campus with a VR headset? The future of The Sims is looking pretty incredible. More sim customization. The Sims has gained popularity and a following because it's an amazing game which lets you basically create your own little dream life. At this point, Sims can do everything from work as a doctor to be their own rock star living in a high-rise penthouse apartment. Rock and roll! The choices are limitless, but some feel The Sims 4 doesn't allow the type of creativity you had with The Sims 3. Oh, here we go again, right? We basically lost the ability to use the creative style tool, but we also lost the ability to really customize the sim with it. With The Sims 3, you could edit specific things on your Sim's face and body, and there were different menus and screens to do so. The Sims 4 made customization easier, quote-unquote, and more, quote-unquote, straightforward. But many people enjoy the complexity of creating Sims because it allowed them to be as creative as they wanted to be. But they were left out the ability to edit your Sim's hair. What? Come on. Sure, you get a few hairstyles and some color options, but you can't go to extremes with it. While in The Sims 3, you could customize your Sim's hair to add highlights, lowlights, tips, or change the root color. It just felt like another piece of the customization puzzle was taken away. But here's to hoping The Sims 5 will bring it back. Time accuracy will be re-evaluated. This isn't anything new with the Sims franchise because anyone who has played the game is well aware there just isn't any real value for time here. It shouldn't take 3 hours to eat your dinner, just like it probably doesn't take you over an hour to shower. With each new Sim game, the time accuracy problem has become just a little better than it was previously, but we are still not in any realm of perfection here. With each new update, The Sims 4 comes one step closer to it though, which is why we have such high hopes for Sims 5 to get it right. What's that, a positive on Sims 4? Remember the good old days of playing The Sims when you would spend at least 20 minutes waiting for your Sims to finish work so you could interact with them? At least now we have the option to quickly speed through work days. But then we're left with the realization real Sim time was used up, so it means there's little left of the day to interact and have a social life in the game. At least they've made it better when it comes to basic everyday things, and they seem to be able to do them more quickly. With each new game, they come one step closer to getting the time accuracy down, but there's always room for improvement in this department. More life stages. The Sims 5 is going to have to come up with a new aging process because The Sims 4 has proven time and again it just can't get this feature right. Just give us one last chance to rag on Sims 4, okay? The Sims 4 has 7 life stages: baby, toddler, child, teen, young adult, adult, and elder. But unlike its predecessors, Sims 2 and 3, The Sims 4 didn't initially have the toddler life stage. The game just skipped this stage altogether, but thankfully with a 2017 patch, it was added, since it didn't make sense to have babies automatically turn into children. Skipping the terrible twos would be great, but I mean, they happen. It took developers a few years to add toddlers, which was just strange because players had complained of the absence of a toddler stage from the very beginning. Also, in The Sims 4, almost every life stage looks identical, from teen to adult, so there isn't any real way to tell a difference. If they want a game to be more realistic, they're gonna have to really work on this flawed system for Sims 5, because the fans want to see a game which includes more life stages and a better aging system. Well, there you have it! What rumors have you heard about The Sims 5? Is there anything you'd like to see in the next Sims game? Tell us about it in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and we hope you'll join us next time.
Ultra!
Jabi!
Oh, sharp!